Okay, I always hate making videos because I can never gauge people's reactions and how they're responding, and if I need to change my presentation to keep their interest and make it more interesting or whatever. And the mailman's showing up and the dog's going to bark here in a second, so we'll see how it goes. I may have to edit this out or something. But Malcolm, hey, come here, hush up. Hey, no, come here. Not for you. We'll let you know if you get an email. So I just got an email from the owners there at Mal. Mal. I just got an email from the owners at Canadian Sports Center about some changes, and I'll just include that in the email in case you haven't seen it. It's everything's pretty much posted on the Facebook page, so it should be there if you want to check that and see what's going on. So I think for the meantime what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the test, and it'll give you an idea of what to work on. I'll make comments where I see really common errors and how to address those and that type of thing. Something else I wanted to say, I'm sure I'll think of it. But anyway, so yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, Canadian Sports Center. We can definitely point you in the right direction or help you out. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Particularly for Caitlin, since you're looking for a new job, if you do happen to move and we haven't gotten the test done yet, have the trainer you're going to get in touch with me. I can tell them what we've gone through. Basically confirm that you're ready, and let them know my AKC number and all of that information if they need it, if you want to go ahead and do the test. And we can't do it here before you leave the area. If you leave the area, hopefully you'll stick around, but I like Columbia, so that's me. So like I said, I'm just going to go through the test, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the beginning of the test, it starts off pretty simple. There's a couple of things. One, I'm going to hug the dog. Yeah. This is not something I recommend. Most dogs don't like it, but it's good because people that don't know, they may do it to your dog, and want to make sure they're not getting really defensive or aggressive or submissively urinating all over them or anything like that. It kind of goes along with the jumping up or the biting we talked about. I don't usually allow it, but sometimes it just happens, and we need to be able to address it or make sure the dog's okay with it enough to get them out of the situation. Get out of there. You have to work for these. I know. Okay. Then the second thing, I'm sorry this doesn't zoom out any more than it is, but you should be able to see enough to understand what's going on. So next thing we're going to do, Malcolm, come here, sit. Okay, so ask for a sit, down. Okay, and you notice in the class I usually use that verbal marker. With Malcolm I use a click, so you can change those if you're still using the marker training. So then the next thing we do with the brushing, the brushes I use in class, they've been on a lot of dogs, and they have a lot of smells on them. So the curiosity, the playfulness is fine. We just want to make sure the dog, again, is not getting aggressive, is not submissively urinating or anything like that. So I usually show them the brush, let them check it out for a second, and then start. Whoops. It's that pen brush, he's got that wiry coat, so it's getting stuck in his hair a little bit. But we just want to make sure he's okay with it. A lot of times what I see is the dogs get so focused on the brush and getting playful and whatnot, it'll take a treat, just kind of keep their attention. So I'm using that B hand again, keep the dog's attention. Maybe just run the brush over them a little bit. And we just want to make sure they're okay with it. So, and then we'll also let Malcolm's trying to check out what's going on, and his ears are a little bit dirty, but not too terrible. But again, the same thing. If they're getting a little too focused on what you're doing, you can use that treat to kind of keep their attention. Make sure they're letting you do what you need to do. And same thing with the nails. Just kind of look at the nails, make sure they're okay. Maybe check the pads, and this will help with nail trimming, that type of thing. Getting them used to that. So I know your dogs are younger, and Malcolm's been through this a few times, so he's obviously not too reactive or making a big deal about it or anything like that. But you need a nail trim really bad. Yes, you do. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and then the other one is Malcolm's not very toy motivated, but we'll see how he does with this. You want to have a dog take a toy, and Duke was playing with this earlier today, but I want to get him interested in it and see if he'll take it. You get that? Okay. And then Malcolm, come here. Give. And then we're going to take it away. And again, we want to make sure they're not getting toy possessive or anything like that. Shh, Meme. If you're going to be in here, you need to be quiet. My daughter's behind the camera. Getting a little. Hey, get out of there. Come here. Sit. Good boy. Okay. Now there's a couple of things I can't really do because of the current situation. Malcolm knows everybody here, but there is a part where I'll hold the leash. I'm a stranger, quote unquote, and we have you walk away from the dog about 10 feet, and then you come back about 5 feet. Wait. And that's probably closer to 10. But Malcolm, here. Like I said, I always like to end that with a sit. So it's just a recall, making sure the dog's going to come back to you, come to you when you call them. So, my phone's going off now. Usually it's not this chaotic, but times are as they are. So let's see. Oh, the last thing, where did I put my leash?
There it is.
Okay. The last thing is a loose leash walking. There is a part of this where I am 15 feet away and I do something to distract the dog. Like we talked about in class, dogs are very visually oriented, so it's fine if they kind of look over at what's going on. We just want to make sure that you can get the dog's attention back. And as we talked about, using your voice, making sure that you can get the dog focused back on you as quickly as possible and move on with what you're doing. So I don't really have 15 feet in this room, but we'll do a little bit of this. So, really, the leash should be superfluous. You're gonna keep the dog's attention on you with the treat. So come here. Turn around. So a lot of times what I see happening, you've been practicing this at home, the dogs have gotten used to it, and then you come to class where you have so many distractions and whatnot. People try and get the dogs to respond as they do at home. Like we talked about when we were generalizing, when you go to a new place or a place with more distractions, you may need to back up a little bit in your training. So a lot of times what I'll see, come here, is people will be walking with the dog and they have the treat here. Come on, with me, come on. Let's see, Malcolm's kind of getting in front of me and tripping me up a little bit. So we need to back up. Come here. Come here. Just as an aside, this is good when dogs aren't sure what to do. They kind of offer different behaviors to see what you want. And it just shows a creativity, and it's easy to get excuse me, easy to get new behaviors from them as they're trying out different things. So, but anyway, so we want to be really careful when we're doing this loose leash walking. Make sure that treat is all the way over. Come on, with me. Come on. There we go. Okay. Come on, with me. With me. Good boy. And then again, you can do it this way too, with the dog across. Yeah, and the treat on the same side as the dog. So my hands are all slimy. Yeah, so just make sure you're using that treat to your advantage, getting the dog to do what you want them to do. And as they get the hang of it, as we've talked about before, as they get better at it, you'll be able to get further and further away. So with Talbot in particular, for example, I was able to go like this. He knew that meant be on a loose leash right next to me. And we just proceed that way. So, and obviously, I haven't worked with Malcolm a lot during all this going on, so he's very focused, very excited. Let's see, I did. Oh, and then the final thing that we kind of do is having the dog walk on a leash. Did I talk about that? Oh. Yeah, having the dog walk on a leash about 5 feet away from somebody that's just kind of standing there. Yes, you're a good boy. Down. Okay. And again, showing interest is fine. We just don't want the dog to go running off or anything like that. Using your voice to keep their attention, keep them focused on you. This obviously is not to replace the test, but hopefully it'll give you an idea of some of the stuff to work on. It's also some of the things to keep your dog entertained while everybody's kind of stuck at home. So I will email as soon as I know anything and let you know what's going on, and we'll kind of figure out how to schedule things as it's proceeding. Yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe. Wash your hands. We'll see you as soon as possible.